Hi, welcome back to Rooney Watch, and we're doing a buy one get one free. We're trying to add a couple of these games in together because, well, there's so much to talk about, but I'm trying to condense them down a little bit more, and we're trying to help Wayne Rooney try to figure out how his team can maybe score a goal and not give up so many. We're on the watch to see if it's going to be 20 games before he gets fired, or will he last longer? Put your bets in the description below. Now, this is how, to be fair, Plymouth, They gave away so many chances in this game against QPR. They could have had 5 goals scored against them, and you'd have gone, yeah, fair enough. They did get 2 players sent off, and we're going to cover that as well, because that isn't. If you're getting players sent off on your team, that is down to you and your manager, right? I can remember I was coaching one team, and I had so many yellow cards. It was just embarrassing. I've never seen anything like it. There was so many yellow cards. For one thing only, was dissent, mouthing off to the referee. Every single one of my players was mouthing off to the referee all of the time. And it took me so long to try to get that culture change, and couldn't do it in the end. But it does come down to the manager. Your discipline on the field is always down to the manager, because if you're scared of, if you know the repercussions of what your manager is going to do, you act a certain way on the field. So for these challenges and these guys to be playing this way, they think it's acceptable, and I'm going to show you those as well. One might be a bit of a young idiot, but we'll have a little look at it together. But we're going to look at this first goal, and this is really, really poor. Look, this is the captain. Look at his body shape. He is paying no attention to anyone coming in on the blind side of him. And this is the guy that scores the goal. He's just focused looking at the ball, which he can't really be doing. And not only does he focus looking at the ball, when the ball comes in, he ducks and closes his eyes. It's embarrassing. So what you really need to be doing is having your body shape. And the reason why your starting position is so important is so you don't get in situations like this. Instead of him facing this way like this, you should really be on the post going this way like this. And the reason why he's on the post is because he's not good enough to cover the front post like this. So he's on the post coming out into this area. And if he's on the post, this goal doesn't happen. Okay? And I'm always an advocate and a fan for having somebody on that front post. Remember, the reason you do it is you're not marking the post, is you're facing down the field. So there's nothing behind you, and anything that comes in, you can clear the ball away from you. It's really, really simple. If you're facing this way, that's the only area you can defend. Is that bit there. Here, you can defend all that there. Much easier, much better. So let's just move this on ever so slightly. Look, now he's realised this guy's there, and he doesn't challenge him. So what I mean by challenge, he doesn't get his body on him. He doesn't try to shove, at least anything, make his jump harder. He doesn't. He just is caught because it's on his blind side. He's come around. He's not really aware. And the main reason being caught out, look, oh my God, it's so poor. It's because he's hesitating. You see, he does that little step where he actually stops running, and he's beaten by the other guy's run as he's coming all the way through, because he's not really concentrating hard enough of trying to body the player, because he doesn't really know his job, and he's probably uncomfortable defending on the front post, let's be fair, because if that's anything to go by, well, yeah. But let's get on to some of these yellow cards and the little team discipline. Before we do that, I want to show you this poor attempt of a header. It's ducking down, eyes closed, not even looking at anywhere near the ball. It's one of those like, look, coach, I've tried to head the ball, but I haven't actually done it. I tried to put a little bit of a body on it, and all he had to do is really honestly just lean his shoulder into him, and this guy would never have scored that goal. But there we go. Let's get on to the next point. Okay, this is this kiddie's first yellow card. He's basically manhandling and trying to mug this guy all the way down the field. He does it constantly all the way down here, and he gets his first yellow card for grabbing him, pulling him, twisting. But the main reason he's grabbing him, pushing him and pulling him is because his body shape is wrong. He's not defensively on the right side. One of the other things that annoys me as well, right? This is your teammate. This is down to the culture of their team, right? This is your teammate working really hard. You've got other players that can be sprinting back in. Is he making time? Yes, he is. He's holding up this player, committing a foul, and no one else is busting along to get back in for his teammates. No one's like, whatever. Yeah, look at him. He's doing a thing, but we're not really going to look. Look at the casual jog. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. If your teammates put in that effort to try to stop the ball, other people on the team must use that little bit of time and momentum there so they can get back in and stop things happening. But it just shows sort of how lackadaisical and we don't really care about what's going on. Oh, but they do score a wonder goal. Let's get on to that. Okay, this guy here is terrible at the football, and I'm going to point out loads of things that this guy does wrong after this goal as well. Watch what he does, right? He's trying to make a pass to that guy there, and he plays it to this kid here. Now, there's a problem when you score a goal like this. You get sort of delusions of grandeur. And then if you watch the Stoke highlights, which I'm going to comment on as well, this player then starts doing the similar mistakes, right, of trying to run in and smash the ball in the goal because he scored a wonder goal. Well, what he really should have done is gone into the space out wide and then try to get put any little cut back in, and it's a free goal. It's a free goal. The problem when you score accidental goals like this is you think you did it on purpose, and you convince yourself, yes, I am good, and this is what I did mean to do, but you didn't. It's complete and utter luck, and now you're trying to recreate it instead of looking at what the situation is in front of you, the actual real picture, and creating real goal scoring opportunities for your teammates. So remember that, because we're going to cover it in a minute. Okay, watch this. This is just calamity. Watch this pass, bonk. This guy's first touch is terrible and ends up sort of bouncing off him. And this guy just smashes it into the net box. It's kind of hilarious. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Watch this. He just runs up. I actually think that he was trying to win the challenge, like win a tackle. You know, when you're doing that, you're swinging really hard and the ball ends up smashing off the other way. I think that's what he's trying to do. Look, bang, he tries to win the tackle and it goes straight to the bottom corner. Yeah, that's a bit of a wonder goal. But when you see the clips later on, when I'm talking about him trying to redo that, instead of going around on the outside, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get on to the next yellow card before the main red card. So this is for sure. Yeah, his name's for sure. For sure. So for sure's already on the yellow. It was the guy that was manhandling somebody else. So now you just don't want to go to ground. There's no need for you. This guy's running out of bounds. There's no threat and danger here. But this comes down to just total not understanding football and just over-eagerness. Watch this challenge. Bosch comes in, nowhere near the ball, sides the guy down. There's no point to go to ground. He's going nowhere. What are you doing? This is just complete and utter no discipline, no understanding of football. It's just stupidity all around. I'll be fining you a month's wages for that. That is just awful. There's no need. There's no need. I don't care if the guy's kicked you. I don't care what he's done. You punish people by a scoreline, not by doing that, because, well, it's just stupid. So he gets sent off. For sure does. Now, Plymouth, got to give credit where credit's due. This should have been a penalty all day long. Apparently, that's not a penalty. And it's like, that is not a penalty. He pulls him over. Yeah. The other thing is, I think, all right, so you can tell by Rooney's demeanour that he's not a really good manager of manipulating certain things. The first thing you need to do is manipulate the referee, then manipulate the crowd, then manipulate the other team in that order. Manipulate the referee, because then you can get the other team, you know, the crowd on against his own team. When you start manipulating the crowd, then you can get them against their own team. It's very, very sort of structured of how you do that as well. And you have to be vocal and say certain things and be animated on the sideline so you can do that. Wayne's not going to intimidate a referee or get a referee's decision, because he's just not that type of person. Right? You can see it from how he jumps up off the bench. It's all too late, because if you want that decision from the referee, right, you have to have made it already happen before the decision happens. You can't change the referee's mind at the point of incident. You change it 4-5 challenges ago, if that makes sense. You make so the referee knows that if he doesn't call that as a penalty, he's going to get a right old earful. You cannot jump up off the bench and scream and shout on that incident, because they will not change. Like, you'll never see a referee change their opinion. You change their opinion 5 or 6 challenges ago. That's how you do it. You lead them into it. And there's a couple of ways of doing it, and I'm not going to give all my secrets away. If you've played for me before, you'll probably know exactly how to do it, because I've told everybody. I do want to play it through, though, so you can see how much you did actually pull him down. That's a clear and pen all day long. But this is what I'm talking about, manager reactions on the sideline. Look at this. That noise there is lost with all the other hundreds of people there, thousands of people, however many they have. Yeah. You do not get the decisions there. You get the decisions back when your players getting sent off and all that other stuff. That's where you get that decision from. And if you don't understand that, think about it a little bit about the manipulation of the ref, where he is going to change his mind and how you can convince him to do so. Let's look at the last red card and then we'll get on to the Stoke game. So this is the straight red. You can see he's coming down, studs on. The other guy's volleying his foot. He's a little unlucky, but he's also very naive, coming in with his studs showing, foot going forward. It's pretty poor, to be fair, but it's a red. Dush, off he goes. In the modern game, farting against another player could be a red card nowadays. But let's get on to the Stoke game, because there's more stuff I can show you about their actual style of play and why they're all bad at the footballs. Okay, I'm not sure if it's the same kid. I think it is the same kid. He scored that wonder goal. But watch this, right? This is how poor it is. Do you see all this massive acres of space here? The space is dangerous. All he has to do is play a 1-2 or just keep drifting into this space here, and they've got a goal. They've absolutely got themselves a goal, because they've got 1v1 situation here. This kiddie's actually quite tasty on the old footballs. You've got numbers up. You've got a player up here. Stoke are all right, marked on top of the box here. But this is how you score goals. You take advantage of this space here. All he's got to do is play the ball for this guy to run onto it. And hopefully it'll drag the centre-back out. Because as soon as you go into this space here, this guy's going to go and follow you. 1v1 here, and you can get yourself a goal. But he doesn't. What he does is he cuts inside. He's been watching Anthony at Man United and smashes the ball over the bar. Absolutely shocking. There's no point anyone being up there. Look, you've even got people queuing up. Just take it down to that byline and get the ball across. And he does it over and over and over again in this game. And the problem, what happens when you score the goal that you did the week before, you think you're going to do it every week, and it wasn't. That was a lucky goal. He's never going to do anything like that again in his career. So stop doing it, get to the byline and get your teammates across him. The other problem you've got, right, is this here. Watch this tackle right here. Bosh comes flying in. Completely and utterly reckless. It just shows that, look, you're working too hard. You're doing all that and you're not even winning the ball. You're not even winning the football. Your team's shape and structure needs to be so people around you, you're doing that for a purpose. You're stopping a goal. You're in the other team's half. You're in their defensive third. There is no need for that. You just got 2 players sent off last week and you're doing that. Chances are you're going to get, if there's one little misstep, you're sent off as well. It's complete and utter stupidity and recklessness. Like, if this is going on week in and week out, I don't think they're going to have many players left for Rooney to get fired. One thing Plymouth get caught out with over and over and over again is because they don't have a proper defensive line, and their midfield don't know what they're doing. So it's easy to say that, but what do you mean, Cash? Right. The proper defensive line is they're always too far forward. They keep getting beaten by balls in behind. And the reason they're getting beaten by balls in behind is because there's never any pressure on the ball itself in midfield. The midfielders really don't try to challenge and win the ball back effectively as a unit in midfield. So what ends up happening is the other team will always, you can see how stretched everybody is away from each other as well, and how much space there is. Always, look how high that line was. It was about there. Before that ball was played, it's about there. Before everyone starts running back. That is way, way, way too high for a team of this poor quality. You can't be doing that. So you've got so many issues because the midfield then really can't step up and press because you really can't afford to leave that space in behind you, because all they do is run in and go onto that keeper 1v1 all of the time, Hazard. And he has some good saves, but he is at fault for this loss, but we'll get onto that in a minute. But there's so many times the ball's played in over the top of these defenders. You can only probably play that high line if you've got two things. You've got pressure on the ball to make that passing behind really, really difficult, or you've got really good pace at the back who can read the game well. Obviously, City do it like a Kyle Walker. Van der Veer does it for Spurs. Someone who's got so much pace, can understand the game and cover for those mistakes. Plymouth Argyle, you don't have it. Same kiddie again. Watch this. This is where he needs to go. Get down in this space here. He is stopping you going this way, right? So you don't just run straight past him. I promise you he'll foul you or let you get a shot off at the goal. If you're coming inside here, that's really easy. That's exactly what they want you to do. There he is. He's coming inside. If he'd do exactly what I want him to do, it'd be a long look out. It'd be along here. I'm putting the ball in for a tap in for any of these runners coming in here. He's not. He's trying to turn it in and smash it at the goal again like he did in the first half, like he's doing all the time. Complete utter waste of time. Dosh. Yay. And it looks like it's impressive because the keeper had to make a save. But it's not. It's terrible. As well, from a coaching point of view, this is worrying. Watch this. You've got a goalkeeper and you've got a defender, I don't know who it is, midfielder, whoever it is. This is worrying. Do you see that? You're going, oh, we didn't see anything, Cash. Yeah, I did. I saw the goalkeeper coming for the ball and the player on the field having no respect for his goalkeeper or trusting his goalkeeper and just took it off him anyway. That's worrying. Now, the other worrying part is, so you'll have points of play or playing the system, whatever you're doing, and normally there's going to be a trigger from the goalkeeper, right? So you want your keeper to have it because everyone can get up, all these guys can get up, get in position, and get set. If he's not letting his goalkeeper have that, that means they don't have anything like that set up in the club. If they're not trusting the goalkeeper, look, half of the players are still behind the goalkeeper. If he loses the ball here, you're in all sorts of trouble. Like, what is going on? The simple thing is pick the keeper, the goalkeeper, pick the ball up, get these players that are behind him up the field, and let's try to play some football. Not giving it to you here so we can have amazing. What do you? What? It just that little simple thing there shows you how unstructured this football team is. Now here we are, we're going to get onto the goal. Right here though, this is important because there's no real pressure on the ball here, and he's just going to come in and put a daisy chain ball into the bottom corner. To me, this is 100% keeper. Well, I'd say 80%. 20% this clown here needs to have more pressure on the ball, and this guy can step over and help him. But watch, he doesn't. So he's pulling him one way to cut him back the other. We all know what he's doing. Everybody does. Even his grandma does. And he lets him do it. Pulls it, bangs it. Keeper should have had that all day. It's not even a powerful shot. Just not good enough, really. Yeah, and Hazard's done an all right job, but saving just the simple ones, I don't know. It's overall a bit of a mess. Maybe he saw it late, but maybe he wasn't even concentrating. I'd like to see it from another angle, but there really isn't another one, so I could see where the keeper's face is and why he let such a simple goal in. Other than that, Rooney's trying to speed run, getting fired from another football team and getting another football team relegated. But I've got to be fair, Plymouth probably won the cards to get relegated before Rooney showed up anyway. But other than that, we'll see you next time on the Rooney Watch.